everyone, I'm Jack.
I'm Wei and welcome to an episode of
Just Talk Law. Today we'll be talking about the Lazada layoffs.
If you didn't already know, e-commerce firm Lazada laid off or retrenched quite a number of its employees in Singapore and in other countries. We don't know how many exactly lah. I think enough to cause quite a bit of displeasure. And there was further drama because NTUC openly expressed its disappointment at Lazada for failing to inform the union before it started the retrenchment exercise.
And I think people are quite unhappy also because it happened on January 3rd, essentially just
Before Chinese New Year.
before Chinese New Year, yes, and also after people just came back from a long break from Christmas.
Right.
And then they were just shocked at the news. The first working day of the year, then, oh no, actually I'm retrenched.
So timing a
It's
bit maybe insensitive lah,
yeah.
which actually raises a very interesting question, right? Is there a proper SOP, so to speak?
MOM requires, if you are a company above 10 employees, you have to notify MOM within 5 working days after
Wait, spot. So you mean I can actually retrench first, then notify MOM?
Yes, you got 5 days to hold.
Oh, so I don't need to get MOM's approval before I start a retrenchment exercise. Why is then NTUC disappointed with Lazada? Actually, the choice of word is very interesting, right? Why did they use the word disappointed instead of saying like, oh, Lazada, you did something outrightly wrong?
Because they didn't do anything outrightly wrong and they were just disappointed. It's like my mother tell you, disappointed in your grades. You didn't fail, but you didn't do very well.
The A also, lah.
Legally, you only need to inform MOM. There is no legal requirement to inform the union unless you already had a prior agreement to do so.
So, in case you didn't already know, union is a organization that represents the workers in a particular organization lah, and their job is technically to look out for the interests of the workers. In this case, Lazada didn't inform the relevant union, which is the food and cannot remember the name. The food drinks and allied workers union. And NTUC wasn't happy because the union wasn't informed. Why unions want to be informed in the event of a retrenchment exercise is because the union can then step in to bargain on behalf of the workers. Do you really need to lay off workers or not? Are there any alternatives to save your business without having to retrench anyone?
For example, like shorter work week, less pay, but still doing the same jobs, or maybe people sharing the same functions, so multiple people can do the same work for a bit less.
So cost-cutting measures, effectively,
essentially.
without anybody losing their job, we suffer together rather than, some people keep their jobs, some people lose their jobs. The other reason why unions may sometimes want to be involved is so that they can step in to help the workers who are going to be affected, right? So the unions can sometimes arrange for, let's say, career counseling or transitions programs where retrenched workers can find jobs more easily outside after they are retrenched. So what happened here was it didn't inform the union. Everyone, including the union and the workers, were caught by surprise. Therefore, NTUC said, oh, we are very disappointed in you, law. You should have done it. Good to have done it, but you didn't.
But on the flip side, of course, if you're bargaining, then the company that is laying off may be thinking, I'm already losing money, then I still got to plan for your future. Is a bit difficult lah.
So I think the upside to disclosing to a union beforehand is that you make the union happy, but the downside from a company's internal point of view is that you alert the union even before you make the layoff announcements.
And possibly people be worried that they are losing their jobs, and the people that you may want to keep may be already looking for new jobs.
It also made news that Lazada did pay a retrenchment benefit. 2 weeks for every year of service, which some people were not happy with. So is there like an industry practice for retrenchment benefit?
Apparently, commonly, and on MOM's website also, they do recommend people pay 1 month per year of service.
So, wait, it's on their website. Is it law or what?
No, it's just a guidance.
Or it's a guideline?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of these are actually advisories. The only legal portion that if you fail to inform MOM within that 5 working days that we're talking about, then it could be subject to a fine.
If you are saying that retrenchment benefits are not compulsory under the law, right? How come in this situation there was so much unhappiness among the Lazada employees for having been paid 2 weeks per year of retrenchment benefit instead of the norm of 1 month per year?
I think because it's expectations. I mean, if I'm working for a huge company, MNC, so much money pumping in, there's a lot of investments going in, this must be a great company, right? So then when I'm working there, I also have great employment benefits, right? At the time when I'm going to be let off, the expectation is also that you will take care of me, you talent acquired me, you found a headhunter to get me, and then now it's just, oh, I'm just put at the wayside. I think people get upset about that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that retrenchment benefits are not compulsory. Most companies do actually pay a benefit when they lay you off. Over time, there's this misconception that it's a legal requirement, right? The expectation part together with this, I think, led to the unhappiness this time around. And I personally think if you don't pay retrenchment benefits at a market rate, that's only going to do you in terms of your corporate branding and your corporate reputation.
Yeah, which people already spend a lot on, right? I mean, in terms of marketing, branding, and all that, and things take a hit, you know?
So it becomes harder for you next time down the road to hire talent if when you retrench somebody, there is bad press surrounding how you retrench them and how little, so to speak, you pay them.
It costs a lot more to recover from bad press than to create good press. And on top of that, I mean, if I'm an employee, I'll also be thinking, oh, last time, wow, people just got dropped off like that. So next time if I join you, will I be the same?
So far we've been talking about an employee's point of view, and of course to an employee more is better.
Yeah.
But to a business, if I'm already in a situation where I'm doing so badly that I have to cut your job, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it even be worse for me if you expect me then to pay, huge severance packages? Why should I retrench you then if I have to pay you such a huge severance package?
If your job is a job that is no longer in existence, after restructuring, it's just not something that's needed. Or even more so, I think for some of the newer tech companies or even existing ones, when they remove certain products, the entire team is no longer needed.
And I think another important point is that a lot of jobs are now getting replaced by machines and AI.
I pay one sum and I buy the
Yeah.
machine. Yeah, it costs a lot, but then it costs more to keep you
Until you are 60 years old
Yes.
or however old you want to work till. Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
the machine only sleep, only eat, only
Yeah,
take
need to
MC.
service lah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's all a numbers game lah,
Yeah.
right? I think people get more expensive as they go along, right? But their jobs seldom grow to commensurate with the amount they are paid. And there will come a day where my middle management would have developed enough to do the job of the senior management.
This is very unpopular, man.
It's a very unpopular opinion lah.
Yeah. I think generally as you gain more experience, you do more, then of course your salary goes up. And the more expensive you are, then the more targeted you will be, right? Because
For
depending-
retrenchment.
Yeah, because I mean for the same job, somebody younger can do it. It will be a lot cheaper.
That's true.
And very often, if they are trying to headhunt you, they will offer a better package for you. But then at the end of the day, when things come down to cash flow and the business cannot run properly, do they really need someone so expensive to do this?
So when times are good, they can pay you. You are
Yes.
good to have around.
Yeah.
But when times are bad, of course, the most expensive person to hire is the first to go.
It might be the first thought lah, cause they get rid of one, can maybe keep 10.
I'm sure Lazada is not the only company to have retrenched people. Last year, was it? Or quite recently, Flash Coffee also got rid of all its employees. How come back then the union didn't express deep disappointment at Flash Coffee?
Because Flash Coffee was essentially wound up, they've ceased to exist, whereas Lazada is still running, they still have plenty of finances. It's just that they're not paying the retrenchment benefits.
Good point. Yeah. Because Flash Coffee was no longer in business.
Yeah.
Whereas here you have a huge e-commerce company that's still going to
Yeah.
be in
Running.
business, for a very long
And
time.
in fact,
to
they're
come.
going for IPO this year.
If you're going to be raising funds through IPO, why are you retrenching people at this point in time? And we're still retrenching people and then not paying them the market, so to speak, norm as retrenchment benefit. Another very different point between what happened with Flash Coffee and Lazada is that when Flash Coffee shuttered, right, they didn't pay retrenchment benefits, yes, but what was more pressing was they didn't even pay their employees outstanding salaries. In that case, the union actually did step in to help affected workers claim for unpaid salaries, which is a good thing.
No, they are not unionized.
Yeah, even though they weren't unionized, that's our understanding, right? It's important sometimes also to see things from the point of view of the union. You know, you look at Flash Coffee, right? If you have no one to step in to fight for the workers' rights, you are going to end up with a situation where there will be many, many workers who have given their time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears for the company, right? But weren't even paid salary when the company closed.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so we've come to the end of today's episode.
So let us know in the comments below if you have anything you'd like us to talk about, and then we can just talk
Law. Yeah.